Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Oldie but a Goodie, the show where over the past 50-something weeks, we've been visiting the year 1984, watching movies, and they came out in the weeks and choosing them and rating them. Oldie but a Goodie, it's the podcast, so that's what we do. If you don't listen to the show, don't start with this episode, just wait until next week. We're starting a whole new year.
Don't start with, like, the couple of episodes near the end of the year. They're just wild. They're crazy.
Oh, I mean, you could start with last week's Break Into Electric Boogaloo if you wanted to, I guess.
Yeah, you could have. Yeah, that one's fine. Like, our 100th episode is, like, wild.
Yeah, not that one.
I had one of my friends who, I think they listened to one of things, and it was the Killer Hog. What was it called?
Oh, yeah.
The Razorback.
That's it, Razorback.
And that entire intro is just us doing Australian accents, and he was like, "What the fuck?
What is this?"
And then we talked normally, and he was like, "Oh, okay."
Imagine if we did the whole show like that, though.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. Oh well.
Oh dear. It would be like some weird meme YouTube account. This week, my name's Sandro, also you're Zach. That's important, I guess.
That's me.
We're going to go through all the films we talked about in a little like a retrospective. Then we're going to have some things we're going to rank, and we're also going to be like, who did guest the most on the show? That's a thing that I wrote down for some reason.
Did guest the most the show.
And then finally we picked the first movie of 1987, and it'll be wild.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Been looking at some of the movies there.
Whew, we will get to that.
All right.
But we jump right in with going through all the episodes. The first episode of the year was, of course, Hot Dog the movie. We both gave it an oldie.
Yep.
It deserved it.
Yep.
What do you remember about this movie?
I remember there was a lot of skiing. There was a lot of skiing. There was a bad guy who had a bad accent.
We got a YouTube comment about that, actually. I'll try and find it while you're talking.
Yeah. Look, there was a lot of skiing. There was a lot of nudity.
Oh, yeah.
It was a real way to start the year off with a soft core 1984 movie. And, it didn't have much else going for it. It was just about some reckless ski people, and they were skiing. And really, that's all you need in life, is skiing and boobs. Lots of boobs.
That is... Yep. So, this is one of my favourite comments that we got on YouTube this year from James, was the bad character who you kept saying throughout the episode was German, and they kept referring to him as a Nazi, and you were like, that's a bit, ooh.
Yeah, that's a bit, ooh.
The comment was, the character of Rudy is actually Austrian, so it's probably more of an insult that they're calling him a Nazi.
That's insightful.
Yeah.
Hey, that's actually pretty good. I do like that comment. Hey, thank you for letting us know. Austrian. Yeah, that would be really offensive. Damn.
Yeah.
Big oof. And also big props to the movie, I guess? Question mark?
No, it's a bad movie.
No, it's terrible.
It's a terrible movie.
And it deserved its oldie. Probably more than a lot of our other movies. But yeah.
I don't know. I think the buddy system was worse, which we did after that. Another 2 oldies.
I can't deny that because I can't remember what the buddy system was.
It was Will Wheaton, that's all I remember.
Again, it doesn't ring any bells.
Oh, that was the inventor one, where the guy was an inventor.
Oh, yeah. I have very vague memories of that.
It's bad.
Yeah.
That was bad.
That's probably worse because I can't remember anything apart from, like, the scales talked or something, and they had like a sassy voice. It was like, "You're fat," or
That's right.
something. That was it. That's the only thing I can remember.
Yeah, weird movie. Not good. Real boring.
I think even when we recorded that, I watched the movie and then like forgot half of it overnight before we recorded, and I was like sitting there through our recording going, I can't remember anything. Even the scales bit, you had to remind me.
Oh, it's a short episode as well. It's like 40 minutes. Yeah, that's definitely what happened.
Yeah.
Very forgettable movie.
Because I couldn't remember it. It just went in one ear, out the other. It was so bleh.
Well, one that was quite memorable, especially for a January movie, was El Norte. Two Goodies.
What a good movie.
Wasn't it?
What a surprisingly good movie for January. Whew.
Yeah.
What a good movie.
Probably a good episode. I don't know. Episode 57 was reckless, though. Two oldies. However,
Ooh.
I can barely remember the movie. All I remember is that he licked her eyebrows. But, and it was very awkward for a lot of that movie. But the one thing about that film is that every movie we did after it came back to this terrible high school rom-com with emo motorbike pushing cans off a cliff.
Yeah. All the actors in this film went on to do other things throughout this year, apparently. So, obviously a very important milestone in our watching career. But deserved its oldies. My goodness.
Unfaithfully Yours was after that. Two Goodies from us.
What was that one?
That was the, like, violin one. No. He's a conductor, and he thinks his partner's cheating on him.
Oh, yes, this movie. Yeah, that was a great movie. That was surprisingly good.
And then you also liked Footloose, which we had Sandy on for. We both gave it an oldie, aside from you, who gave that one a goodie.
To be honest, maybe I should have given it an oldie as well. Or to be honest, maybe you should have given it a goodie.
It's not a bad, like, compared to a lot of other stuff that I gave goodies, like Supergirl, I probably should have given Footloose a goodie.
Yeah, well, I think it might be slightly overrated, and nostalgia doesn't help that. But yeah, I'll stand by a goodie. I'll stand by a goodie though. It was very iconic for the time, and everybody remembers Footloose.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Footloose, kick off your Sunday shoes. That was our first guest episode as well, with Sandy.
That was a good one. That was the only... Oh, no, that's not the only episode we recorded in person, because we've got another one coming up. But that was one of the only ones that we did in person.
That was before the virus time.
Yeah. We were also meant to get Rob a guest on for the following episode, which was Crackers. Rob was meant to come on for that one. He watched the movie and then couldn't make it happen. But we gave it the Cracked, more like just plain broken award. The only movie to get that award.
Yeah, look, let's just say I can't blame him for not wanting to record after watching that.
It's terrible. Missed the mark.
Yeah, it is not good.
After that, had a double episode, Repro Man Spinal Tap.
Yeah, the double episode.
I definitely liked Repro Man more than you.
Yeah. I don't know, Repro Man, I really didn't get the like, bigger context of Repro Man, which you had to explain to me, and I was like, man, I did not pick up on that.
Yeah.
It was still very good. It was just like, I don't understand why there is a glowing car and the homeless man is now an alien. I don't understand what's going on.
It was...
I'm gonna need Sandra to explain this to me.
It was like that. It definitely... Yeah, that was a strange movie.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we did a synopsis for it, because...
Yeah.
It was a hard one to do.
And of course, Spinal Tap was really funny.
Oh, yeah, it's a classic.
That is a funny movie.
I have been listening to that soundtrack a lot during the year as well, just because it was so good.
Yeah, that's great.
You really like Children of the Corn.
Yes, Children of the Corn. Now, I've always said, child actors are the worst.
You have taken that stance.
Yes, but here's the thing. It's because children are evil. That's a fact. And so children being evil and they try to play off kids is like, oh, look at me, I'm a good little kid. Yay, we're all having fun here. No. Kids are inherently evil. That's just a fact. And this movie embraces that.
Sure hope we don't have many kid listeners.
We won't by the end of this. So children being inherently evil are much easier to believe on screen, and I actually thought that a lot of the actors of this film, the child actors, were pretty good in this film.
You were right, though, that, like, all of the evil kids were great. The good kids had that like bad acting going for
Yeah,
them.
exactly. Because it's so much easier for a child to act evil. Because it's just innate.
Yeah, I was surprised how much you liked that film.
Yeah, it was really slow. I remember it was really slow. So you had to sort of slog through it.
That's the one that you sped up. That's right.
Yeah. So I did speed up moments of that one. Like, there was moments where they were just walking around doing nothing for a bit, which I thought could have been cut out. Or sped up or something, I don't know. But otherwise it was pretty good.
Okay. After that, we had The Ice Pirates, Jack's first episode. A lot of similarities to Dune, actually, looking back on it.
First episode this year.
That's right. I want to rewatch Ice Pirates, because is it actually good? Or did we all just kind of convince ourselves that it was good while recording?
No. I genuinely thought that was good. It was actually pretty good for what it was.
Okay.
And like it had entertaining points, and I was thoroughly entertained. I remember throughout that film, through the plot points, like the battle at the end where they're all fighting through time.
That was cool.
Which was like crazy because they had to get to the center of the world or whatever. The fact that they were stealing ice, and it was the romance between them where they had a child and the child grew up during this time.
Yeah, and the child saved them.
Yeah, which was very funny. Because then they used the same actor at the end, because it's his son. That was very clever.
That was good. But then you also had like the slapstick robots, which weren't very good. That was definitely the down point of that.
The robots were meh. But my passion for this movie definitely influenced you guys, I feel. But I think Jack agreed with me, though.
I remember meeting up with Jack before recording it, and he had already seen it, and he was like, it was rough, man. So when he said Goodie, I was really surprised.
Yep.
So I think perhaps he did influence us a bit, but also it was a pretty fun movie. Is fun the word you would use for Police Academy, though?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Police Academy, what a movie. It was fun. That was the only thing it had going, was it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I liked the big mountain character.
Hightower, I think his name was.
Hightower, yeah. Hightower.
Yeah.
He flips a car or something. I don't know.
I mean, we both gave it oldies, but
Yeah, it was old.
it was a pretty successful movie, so that's great.
That's because it's like the like cop comedy sort of thing.
Yeah,
And there's been so many better things made from that nowadays.
a lot better.
So I feel like it's oldie, but at the time it probably was pretty good.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'll stand by oldie. I think.
Yeah, it definitely felt like an 80s comedy with stuff like Bachelor Party, all that. They all kind of exist within that.
Oh god, yeah, Bachelor Party.
We'll get to that one. Then we had a run of Goodie movies that we all rated a Goodie, starting with Romancing the Stone. Not too much to say on that one, to be honest. It was just kind of fun. It was just a fun movie.
You remember Indiana Jones? I love Indiana Jones. Why don't we just Indiana Jones again? Let's do it a second time. This was actually a fun sort of parody thing. I really liked this film.
It was good.
And Moscow on the Hudson.
After that, that was pretty good propaganda.
Yeah, that was the best propaganda. Why? Because it had Robbie Williams. And I will believe anything that man will say.
That was the first Russian-based movie that we did last year, which is kind of crazy, because like after that, it was every like fourth movie.
Iceman.
That was a good movie.
That was genuinely one of the better movies that we watched.
Yep.
Like an actual awesome sci-fi, like really cool, about a guy that got frozen in time and then brought back and then has to deal with the fact that he's now in the 21st century.
It was good, but also scientists.
Yeah, I like the lead scientist who's trying to translate, who gets a relationship, and, you know.
All good stuff.
And the ending was awesome. The ending was amazing.
The ending was very good. Murder Rock Dancing Death, Italian horror film that we did. I loved the idea of it, but that it was hard to watch at points. It really was.
Yep.
I loved the music. It hurt to listen to.
Yeah.
And the cop, do you remember the cop detective guy?
Yes.
And everything he said just didn't match his... Oh, yeah. Oh boy, what a film.
What a film. What a guy. So if you like bad horror movies, that's a good one to watch, I feel.
Definitely. But also, there's a lot of better Italian slashers out there.
No. But, like, you're looking for bad ones. If you're looking for a bad horror movie, you're looking for bad ones. So, you know.
And then after that, episode 69 with Love Letters, which I gave a goodie, but you and Sandy, who guessed it on that, also gave it an oldie. But, of course, blame it on Rio, the main star of that episode. The worst I'm calling it. The worst film we've ever done.
Yeah, that one got the Go to Jail award. Because it was... Yep.
Yeah.
It had an underage character.
Yeah, that was a rough watch.
That was a rough watch. That was a rough talk on that episode. At near the end there, we were just like, oh.
But that's okay, because after that, we had Three Ninjas 4 and Breakin'.
Is it 3 Ninjas 4 or 3 Ninjas 3? I'm confused.
3 Ninjas 4, High Noon at Mega Mountain.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's called 3 Ninjas. God, I'm dumb.
Yeah, because it's all a new cast.
I looked at 3 Ninjas, and I was like, it's number 3. Oh, boy.
That's a bad movie.
No. But Hulk Hogan, though. That's really what... Any movie with Hulk Hogan holds a special place in my heart. And you know what? I feel like 3 Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain was better than the previous 2 3 Ninjas. It was still bad, but it wasn't as bad as 2 and 3.
I guess so.
Nowhere near as a good movie like the first one.
No. It felt more like a TV Nickelodeon special than the others, and I think that helped it.
Well, yeah, exactly. With Hulk Hogan there, absolutely.
Yeah. After that was a legitimately great film, though, Firestarter, the Stephen King.
We didn't talk about Breaking at all, but Breaking was really good.
Breaking was great.
Great music, great characters.
Yeah.
Just great movie. It was actually really good. It was surprisingly good. I thought this movie was going to be trash.
Yeah.
But it had that sort of gritty realism of struggling on the streets, which I liked.
And the parts that were bad were funny.
Yes.
As well.
Exactly.
Which helped even it out, which is excellent.
That's a key in your movies. Make sure your bad moments are funny.
Yeah.
And that will cruise you into the good moments.
Then after that was Firestarter, which was very good Drew Barrymore, Stephen King film. It was like an X-Men movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it felt like what X-Men should have been if it was good.
Yeah, Toxic Avenger with Ben was also excellent. I rewatched that movie, actually. The only one from this year that I've rewatched with some friends. It's great. It's so much fun.
Toxic Avenger. Oh, Toxic Avenger. Okay, I have something to admit about Toxic Avenger. I still listen to the song from Toxic Avenger to this day.
Body Talk.
Literally last week, I listened to the song.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite songs that we've found. It's actually just that good.
It is, and it's not on Spotify, so it's not in the playlist, which is
It's
really
so
annoying.
sad. It's like probably my favorite song. That I want to give that Best Song Award.
Best Song Award.
Yeah, Zach's Best Song Award.
And that was a great episode as well with Ben. That was a good choice from him.
Yeah, what a great movie. Good job, Ben.
And then he ruined his legacy by doing the interview. After that, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
I don't remember that one, so can we just move on? What is Indiana Jones? What a stupid name. That sounds like a dog's name.
Yeah, it was like a rip-off of Romancing the Stone. I was like, ew.
Yeah.
Star Trek 3, Search for Spock with Reese. It was okay. There's not too much to say there. It was just an okay Star Trek movie.
What do you mean, okay? I like this movie. I thought this movie was really good. The only thing I didn't like about it was the whole, like, the actions in the previous movie had no consequences. Spock is alive again.
At least they spent an entire movie.
Yeah, they needed an entire movie for it. Yeah, it was good. That was a good movie. You'll look back on that, Sandro. You'll remember. That's a good movie.
There was some good stuff. There was, what's his name from Back to the Future being a Klingon. That was good. Then we had 2 back-to-back Rob episodes, Ghostbusters and Gremlins, obviously 2 of the best movies of the year. They both got the Where is Ron Jeremy Award.
Yep.
Which Rob came up with.
And we never used that award again because it made no sense.
It was very confusing.
Yeah.
We should have just stuck with the Dead Dad Award.
Why did we also rate it Goodies as well?
Rhinestone with Jan, that was bad. That was a bad movie.
That was bad.
Conan was also bad, but like Rhinestone was on a different level.
Yeah, Rhinestone had bad singing though, and you couldn't avoid that. Like, with a bad movie, you could always, like, look away in the boring moments and, I don't know, look on Twitter, search your Facebook. But with Rhinestone, the bad moments were singing, so you'd go to your Facebook page and all you'd hear in the background is Sylvester Stallone singing country, and you're like, ah!
Yeah. I can't remember a lot of it either. Like, I've blanked it out.
But, Dolly Parton, she had great singing. I liked her. Anyway, Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah. It was ruined for you because you watched the first one.
Yeah, the first one was amazing. The second one, not so much. Although I did like some of the effects that they chose to use. I don't know. The lower budget made the effects more wild. I don't know. Or I don't something about the effects. I like the effects.
Yeah.
But the rest of the movie was just worse than the first. If I hadn't watched the first one, I probably would have given this a goodie, but the first one's amazing. Go see the first Conan.
It's amazing to me that Conan and Dune shared sets, actually. I found that out a couple of weeks ago. They shared a lot of sets because they were filming in the same place at the same time with the same producers.
There's a lot of desert in Conan.
So yeah, it was interesting that they did that. But yeah, I enjoyed it more than you, but it still wasn't fantastic. It was a pretty bad film.
Still enjoyable. I would see that one again.
Then we had Splash and Bachelor Party. I gave Splash a goodie. Only one who gave it a goodie. That was with Jacob in that episode.
Look, Splash was alright. Splash was okay.
I liked it, yeah.
I feel like Splash deserved at least one goodie.
Yeah, it's like, if you give Footloose a goodie, I'm giving Splash a goodie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I'm still giving it an oldie.
Yeah. Bachelor Party, though, had a donkey doing cocaine, and honestly... it was very funny.
Honestly, the best movie of the year. Really, we might have given it oldies, but on retrospect, like, donkey doing cocaine. Let's go.
That is still, like, oh wow. That movie was wild.
I guess the donkey did cocaine.
Oh, that film. It was so bad on so many levels, but also just, that scene just made
It's so fun to talk about. Anyway, Muppets Take Manhattan. What can we say but Muppets?
It was good. Oh, what was the thing from the Baby Muppet song?
Oh god, yeah, the Baby Muppets.
It was good.
That was great and terrifying.
You gave Electric Dreams a goodie?
Yeah.
What?
I liked Electric Dreams.
Okay.
I think.
Wow.
I liked the concept. I enjoyed that movie. It was a bad movie, but I enjoyed it. And I go by, would I recommend it? And I would. To very nerdy sci-fi people.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
In retrospect, I probably should have given it an oldie. But it very much appealed to me, we're in the 80s, and look at this advanced computer as they pull out what we would consider a piece of trash. And, oh no, he spilt wine on the electrics, and now it's become sentient.
Yeah. It was very strange.
But I liked it. I liked the like soundtrack and the way that, the computer learned to love.
I mean, yeah, like, I enjoyed it as well. You definitely more than me, but I enjoyed it as well. There was some fun stuff in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated the episode after that, though. Never-ending Story, worst. Oh, so terrible. Hate that movie.
I hate you, because you're wrong. The Never-ending Story is glorious. And all my nostalgia is telling me that you're wrong, and I'm right, and it's great. And I still thoroughly enjoyed it, actually. I still think it holds up as one of the better... Like, as a kid's film, it's actually one of the best.
Atreyu. Alcor. Yeah.
Atreyu.
I can't say that without hearing the Lonely Island skit. Atreyu. Ooh, Falcor.
No, shut up. Purple Rain.
That was bad.
Some say dry and others still the same.
I love the idea of Purple Rain, and the songs were all great, but that story and those performances, yikes-a-rooney.
I want to say, people give that movie, like, high praise, because it's, like, It's Prince, and the music's great, and this is like a movie he did. The movie is really not good. It's just bad.
It's not a good movie.
It's really bad. But the songs are great.
Yeah, of course.
Dreamscape.
Dreamscape was good. I love Dreamscape.
Dreamscape's awesome. Because it's got the Inception themes. And that sort of thing. Inception was inspired by these sort of movies. Because it's scripts that were going round the sci-fi sort of circle. Things like Dreamscape, where you go into people's minds and you change things' ideas. So it's these sort of movies which inspired Inception sort of movies. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't decide if I prefer Dreamscape or Firestarter or Iceman. Like, those are the three sci-fis that kind of stand out to me, and I don't know which one's better. I think maybe Firestarter's the better one, but Dreamscape was great. Was very good.
Oh, that's a tricky one. Yeah. I'd put them all on the same sort of level. Maybe I put Dreamscape one above. I go Dreamscape and then Firestarter, Iceman sort of together.
Yeah.
Even though they're quite different sci-fis, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, we've got, like, Buckaroo coming up in a bit as well, and that was kind of the same thing, but that was more comedy, so...
But before that, we have Wheels on Meals.
That Jackie Chan film. Hey, you gave it an oldie, I gave it a goodie, but there's a bunch of asterisks next to it? I don't know what that means. I think it was you gave it an oldie, but goodie if it wasn't the dubbed version.
Yes.
And I gave it a goodie.
Yes, exactly. I think there was some asterisks that I only gave it an oldie because you gave it a goodie as well. And that... something. Anyway, this movie was good in places and not good in a lot of other ones. Don't watch the dub, watch the sub.
Do not watch the dub. You are correct there. Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. It's great. If you haven't seen it, check that one out. That was a hidden gem.
I was not expecting that one to be good. To be honest, that one looked awful.
So what happened with that one, because technically in the episode we chose it, but what actually happened is Ben came to us and was like, you guys need to do this movie. And we were like,
Look, to be honest, he had me at The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
Yeah.
A title like that we had to do.
That's true.
And it turned out, shockingly, that this was a good movie.
It was very funny.
This had all the key points for being a bad movie, and then it was just good. And the surprising amount of, like, famous actors that were in there.
Yeah.
It was just good.
After that was Chud, which was also quite similar. Low-budget sci-fi. Another good one.
Chud. What a weird movie. What a crazy sort of dark movie.
Yeah. It felt like it was going to be trash, but then it wasn't, but it was.
It was trash at a lot of points, but it was also good at a lot of points. And the female lead was actually kind of kick-ass.
Yeah, that was one of the first decent female leads we had.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. And let's be honest, throughout these movies, I think 95% of all the female leads were pretty one-dimensional fairy princesses that needed saving.
Yep.
But this lead was pretty kick-ass. She was still like, there's a fucking zombie, but I'm gonna pull out a fucking katana and fucking chop his head off, even though I'm screaming and scared. What a badass.
Speaking of female leads who are just princesses to save...
Yeah.
Warrior and the Sorceress did one thing different in that the female lead never wore any clothes.
Yep.
That was a terrible movie.
It was bad. I liked the plot line, and the villains were definitely the best in that movie. The big fat guy with his like lizard girlfriend pet thing.
Oh yeah.
That was so good. I every scene he was in made me chuckle and great enjoyment. He was the best part of that film.
Yes.
Amadeus.
Just one other thing about The Warrior and the Sorceress. A lot of people said it was their favorite episode of the year for some reason. So,
yep.
Yeah, we'll do more like it.
Absolutely.
We'll do more of those ones later on.
I'm down. Amadeus. Where is Ron Jeremy? Where is he?
I don't know. It got the award, though. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Usually, we did last year, we would go through all the Oscar wins from 84. Amadeus won everything. We don't need to do it.
It's too good for us to be watching.
It was one of the rare Oscar movies that we've done that actually got a lot of like listens. So I'm glad we did it. We won't do many more like that, but it was a great movie. It was really good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it as well. Company of Wolves you liked, I didn't.
I thought Company of Wolves was great.
All the parts are good, it just didn't really come together for me.
It came together perfectly for me. I liked it. It's a dark retelling of Red Riding Hood where people turn into dogs. And that's just good.
Right, it was dogs, not wolves.
Yeah. So, yeah, all the people got turned into the dogs because they didn't have wolves. They didn't have, like, husky things. They just had dogs. And, like, the special effects were awesome.
They were great. Oh, the final transformation was... Ooh.
Story was wild. Story was on crack.
It was all over the place.
There is no way you're following that story because it is wild, but otherwise great.
Irreconcilable Differences was fine. Nothing really to say about it.
It wasn't very irreconcilable. Let me say that.
Stranger Than Paradise, I gave a goodie, you gave an oldie.
But I feel like this is a purposely old film. That's the idea.
And you just thought it wasn't particularly grabbing, which means that you are a blockbuster dum-dum who only likes big blockbusters and doesn't like to think.
I am. That's me. I am a millennial, you see, and I have an attention span of 0.5 seconds. And if there isn't a big explosion or a fight scene or someone saying a witty one-liner, I'm not interested, you know?
Yep.
I need to see action now. Oh, you had 2 seconds of just plain silence where the characters sit around and enjoy the atmosphere and the music? Fuck you. You suck. Bad film. 0%.
Well, you're wrong. That was incredible.
Yeah, it was a good film. But I feel like I gave it an oldie just out of pure millennialism.
I think you did. I think that was an oldie out of spite, which annoys me, but also fair enough.
Yeah. Look, it's an old film. But I'm glad that was definitely, if you didn't give it a goodie, I probably would have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite movies of the year, though. I don't know if it'll make my top 3, but it was excellent. Comfort and Joy, another one. Loved that. Very funny. I don't think they really hit the ending, which is why it's not one of my favorites of the year. But aside from that, I thought it was excellent. Great little movie about ice cream.
Yeah, I love that one. That was another surprisingly good film. I thought this film was going to be garbage, but I love the radio presenters thrown into an ice cream mafia war.
It's good.
And then he manages to solve it. The ending, fell a little off kilter, but it was still really good.
Yeah.
It was just a weird random movie. It was fun.
We gave Thief of Hearts the January award, which will be coming back more next year, definitely. But it was bad. I can't remember it. It was terrible.
No, I remember it, and it was a January film. Guy is a thief, and then steals stuff from a lady, and then falls in love with said lady from reading her diary.
I don't know, the scene where he was oiling up in a boat, that was good. That was a good scene. Got me all hot and bothered. More because I was really drunk and hated the movie.
Yeah.
Than anything.
It's 30 degrees outside and I'm bothered by this shitty ass film. The Terminator!
Yeah, where's Ron Jeremy Award? Number 4.
Oh, yes. Now this is a good movie.
Incredible film.
Why? Because it has Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's it. That's the only qualifier.
Continued the tradition of 2 Arnie movies a year.
And, I remember we talked about Terminator 2's my preferred one.
Sure.
But I think your one was this one.
Yes, definitely. Although, I'm beginning to think maybe they're on the same level.
They're absolutely on the same level, I feel.
It's more that I watched the first one more because it's an hour and a half, not 2 hours and a half.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They're equal movies. It's just which one you like more. And I like the second one more because that's the one I actually started with.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of that, it's It's my preferred one, but they're both amazing. They're both fantastic films. Speaking of a fantastic bloody film,
Oh, it's nothing to shake your willy at.
now this is a movie that you shake your willy at. Wakey, wakey, hands off Snakey.
Wakey, wakey, hands off Snakey. It's such a good quote. Look, Razorback is definitely of mixed quality, and you either love it or hate it. Thankfully, we both loved it, and it was very funny.
Oh my god, what a dumb film. What a very low IQ film.
What do you mean? You need a high IQ to understand everything going on in that film.
Although it did have some twist. I did not expect some of the characters to die.
Speaking of characters dying, 2 slashes after that for the double episode with Miss Mandy, which had Elm Street, which is phenomenal, one of the best movies of the year, and then Silent Night, Deadly Night, which I was talking to her just the other day and was like, hey, the second one came out on 1987. Before I could even get a chance to ask, she was like, can I do it? So...
Yes, absolutely. I cannot wait to watch the second one. It has my favorite quote. It's garbage day.
I still feel gross thinking about Silent Night, Deadly Night, though. There was some gross stuff in that film.
Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street, good. Silent Night, Deadly Night, he gives a knife to a child that's covered in blood.
That's right.
Good movie. Not.
Missing in Action, terrible movie. Did you like it more than me? I can't remember.
Oh, I absolutely did. If I didn't then, I do now. It was really unfortunate. I thought I was going to like this one a lot more than I did, but I didn't.
Supergirl, you gave it an oldie, I gave it a goodie, but that was so bad it's a goodie because awful piece of trash, but I loved it. I loved it so much.
Well, here's the thing. It was an awful piece of trash. And if it didn't get at least one oldie, I don't know. I don't know what to say. That movie was bad.
Yep. Oh, we don't have enough time to talk about Beverly Hills Cop. Let's move on to 2010, the year we made contact.
Yeah. Yeah, surprisingly good.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like, we talked about these recently, so, like, that was okay. Dune was not particularly great, but also very great.
Oh, no. Dune was fantastic. I love Dune. I wanna put it on the record that Dune was one of my favorite films of this year.
Okay.
I honestly just love that film. Obviously, the ending, like, the last half an hour felt very rushed.
Yeah, you might need to watch the extended version, I think. Maybe. Just pad that out.
But I feel like even then, it still wouldn't have been enough. But yeah.
Godzilla, it wasn't... And then Breaking 2... Bit of a disappointing sequel, but that pretty much wraps up, the year.
Yeah. I'll say Godzilla. Cool to see classic Godzilla, but a very film. Nothing really happened. And Breaking 2, which was bad.
I watched quite a few other 84 films. I'll just go over some highlights. Top Secret, very funny parody of spy movies. Check it out, loved it. A Soldier's Story was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. Very underrated movie. Really enjoyed it. It was very funny, but also very sad. Paris, Texas. You hate the title. Incredible film.
Yep.
Really, really good.
Is it in Paris or is it in Texas? I don't understand.
And then also Night of the Comet was about a comet that turns people into zombies or dust, and it was so stupid, and you would love it.
Yeah, I probably would have.
And then also the 4-hour-long epic, Once Upon a Time in America. Probably the best movie of the year, but I can't say that because we didn't do an episode on it.
And that's way too long of a movie to do, so we won't.
So, before we do our top threes of stuff, the overall ranking of the year, like I did last year, this is movies that everyone on the episode had to give it a goodie for it to pass. And out of 55 movies, 27 got unanimous goodies, which means overall rating of 1984 is exactly 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10?
Yeah.
5 out of 10. Feels good.
But for our solo rankings, you gave 32 movies a goodie, which is 5.8 out of 10. And I also gave 32 movies goodies, which is 5.8 out of 10.
So, overall, I think it's a 5.8.
Yeah.
There you go.
So far with the guest rankings, episode 100 doesn't count, but the leader in terms of guest numbers is Jacob, who takes the lead over Ben. They've both got 4 guest episodes, but Jacob takes the lead because he did that double episode.
He gets like a half point. Yeah.
Let's go through these top 3 best movies of the year. What do you think?
Okay, going over these. Now, are these best, like, the best movies or best our favorite movies?
So these are the best Ron Jeremy movies. So out of the 4 films, we gave Better Than a Goodie, which is Gremlins, Ghostbusters, Amadeus, Terminator. What's your top 3?
Top 3, number 1 is Terminator.
Yep.
Oh, Amadeus was really good, but I think it goes Terminator, Ghostbusters, Gremlins, Amadeus for me.
Okay, fair. I think for me, Ghostbusters is probably number 1. Then Terminator, then Amadeus, I think. Gremlins might be the one that I drop out.
Maybe I put Amadeus above Gremlins. I feel like Amadeus is a weird one because I've never seen that one before, and that's cool that it's sort of snuck in there. So maybe I'll put that, although I don't want to kick out, I'll keep Gremlins on mine.
Okay.
I don't know.
But yeah, the top 3 goodies, movies that we've given a goodie that we do genuinely think are good. I'll do mine first. Number 1 for me, without a doubt, is Repro Man, because I loved it. I loved everything about it. It was weird and trippy and good. Number 2 is probably Elm Street, because, it's one of my favorite slashes, I think. I watch it a lot, and it's really, really fun. Then number 3 is a tough one, but I might go Toxic Avenger, because it's everything I love about stupid 80s horror comedies. So,
that was probably going to be my 3rd.
Yeah.
Was Toxic Avenger. Man, only picking 3. There's a lot. What's my number 1? Probably a Dune.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Dune breaking Toxic Avenger. That's what I'm gonna do for my best goodies.
So for top 3 movies of quality, I'm gonna go number 3 Ice Pirates, number 2 Breaking. Even though that might actually just be a goodie, I'm going to put Breaking in just because there's a lot of stupid stuff in that. And then number 1 is definitely Supergirl, because it was amazing.
So number 1 on my will be Ice Pirates. For sure. Then I'm going to do Children of the Corn.
That's number 2, alright?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely an
That's yeah.
And then the last one, I'm going to go Chud.
That's a great one to go. Yeah, awesome.
They're very like, I enjoyed this a lot, but I don't know if this is a good film.
So top 3 worst, with number 1 being the worst movie of the year, I feel like ours are going to be very similar.
Yeah.
My number 3, though, to throw a spanner in the works, is Neverending Story, because I hated it. Number 2, Crackers. Number 1, obviously Blame It on Rio being the worst movie we've ever done.
Yeah. I'm going to put... I don't know. The problem is if we say it's the worst film, people are going to watch it.
Yep.
So that's why I'm putting it at number 3.
Okay.
I feel, because I don't want people to watch it.
That's a fair reason.
Crackers will be number 2 as well. And then Rhinestone's number 1 for me.
Oh, yeah, that was awful.
Yep.
Well, there we go.
And if you want to go see Rhinestone, enjoy. I dare you to watch that.
I dare you to stay awake during it. We all had big trouble. Anyway, that's the episode. Thank you for listening all throughout this year. It was a fun year. Any final thoughts as we now leave 84 to only be remembered in the memories and also the feed of this podcast?
Honestly, a lot of surprisingly good films. A lot of films that weren't surprisingly good and were just bad. But there was also 5.8. That's not bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
I agree. It certainly was a different time.
It was a different time.
Speaking of that, merch coming soon, maybe.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yeah. Anyway, well, there we go. 1984 done and dusted. I'm gonna just clean my hands. Oh,
it's stuck.
Done.
I can't get it off.
It's stuck on there. Michael Caine, get off. Stop kissing underage people. Gross. Well, we'll move on to 87 then. Next week. Thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, tell a friend. Be like, hey, friend, this podcast is starting a new year next year. And they'd be like, yeah, obviously, it's 2021. But then you'd be like, yeah, but they're going to be talking about 1987 and the order movies came out in. And your friend would be like, ooh, that's a pretty good year.
Is it?
I don't know. We'll find out. There's also socials, all that stuff in the description. Thank you so much for listening, as always.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate you and your ears.
Especially your ears.
Your delicious ears.
And your eyes and your fingers that click on the episode.
Your eyes that have to view your screen so that you can then use your fingers to tap on. Yeah, I get you.
That's it. Look, it was a roundabout way to say it, but anyway.
Yeah. No shit.
What are we doing next? What's the first movie of the year that we're doing?
Well, Sandro, we've got some excellent choices for next year. And by excellent, I mean, oh boy. So we have Assassination.
Okay.
A bodyguard had to protect the First Lady of America against an assassination. Don't know why that's in the past tense, but yes, it has to protect the First Lady of America against an assassination.
Sounds like a January movie.
Blind Chase, a Polish movie.
Ooh.
About a man running after a train and how such an ordinary incident could influence the rest of the man's life.
Oh.
It was originally meant to come out in 1981, but the Polish authorities kept delaying it.
Okay.
We have Iron Warrior,
Ooh.
an Italian action fantasy about defeating an evil witch.
Of course it is.
The third in the Auteur series of films, except it's completely ignores the first two.
Great. So trashy action fantasy.
And then The Kindred. A horror about a dude trying to find his tentacle baby brother before a mad scientist can get him.
What?
Yep. So those are your choices for the first movie of the year.
Well, Assassination, no. January movie. Blind Chance came out 81.
Yep. Well, it was meant to.
It's got to be between the two trash options, doesn't it?
Yep.
And the problem is, I don't want to watch 3 fantasy movies.
Oh, yeah, 3 Italian action fantasy. Oh, yeah. But it ignores the first 2, right?
We need to figure out the rules for doing sequels, because it's all over the place. But because of that, I'm going to go for, just because I want to see the visual, a tentacled baby brother. Let's do The Kindred.
The Kindred. All right, locking it in, The Kindred. The first movie of the year, and it involves a tentacle baby.
Yes!
The best kind of baby.
All right, that's the episode. That's the year. How do we end this?
Yeah, thank you for listening to this year, number 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Favorite quote from the year.
Oh, favorite quote from the year, yeah.
Wakey, wakey, hands off, snaky.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna go with. Yeah. Wakey, wakey, hands off, snaky.